So you're gonna need these rolling pins. If you find that these things are dirty, look, you just use one of these flexible metal ribs.
Ooh, that was nice.
The only thing you really have to worry about is if you try not to put gouges, you know what I mean, in those. Okay, you ready? Here it is. Super top secret.
Sorry, I don't want to get in the way.
What? Seal it. Okay. Ready?
Oh.
Understandable. What?
Square. Does it? Flipping it.
Ah.
Make it level.
I am flipping it. Notice, watch what happens. It gets. If I roll this way, the unevenness is kind of like that, right? So when I flip it, now it's uneven this way, and that cancels it out. That makes sense? But then it's uneven this way, so I flip it. Now this does something else too. If I leave this clay on the canvas long enough, and I just keep rolling and rolling and rolling, the canvas gets so wet the clay sticks to it. Has that happened to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the canvas gets so wet, the clay sticks to the canvas. So when you pick it up and you flip it, it allows you to, it allows the canvas to dry just for whatever, that instant that it's off, that the clay is not attached. But then it also gives you the ability to roll that clay in that opposite direction. I can feel this clay has like a hard piece in it.
I can see it.
Can you?
Yeah, I see it.
I keep trying to roll it. And here's the other thing too. What I'm doing, you don't really notice, is with the rolling pin. When I'm rolling it, I'm picking it up. Watch what happens if I don't. Does that happen to you too?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing. When you're rolling it, let the rolling pin come off there for just a second, and that allows it to dry enough too. It becomes not so sticky. Okay.
Man, this thing's huge.
That's pretty big. May I borrow that? Does anybody already have a ruler?
There's one on here.
Can I have that, please? Okay. So we're going to make a cube, and it's up there on the wall, right behind where Woody's standing. So the cube is there, 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. How many sides does a cube have? 6. Now watch. I'm going to show you how I cut this out. I don't care how you get 6 pieces that are 3 by 3. I'm simply going to show you the way that I think it's the easiest. And do you know how many demonstrations I do in a day? I'll do 5 of this demonstration today. So trust me, I don't get a whole lot of time to do this because attention spans aren't really that long. So this is the quickest, most efficient way to do it. I'm going to cut strips that are 3 inches tall, right? So I'm going to measure there, and then I'm going to measure here. And I'm going to measure 2 places because I want to make sure that the next cut I make is parallel to the first cut. So I know it's 3 inches end to end. And do you see the illustration I have on the board?
Yep.
So it shows a slab, and then if you notice, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the order in which I generally make these cuts. Like I said, I don't care how you do it. So I've got 2 strips that are 3 inches tall, and now I need to make a right angle on one side of this rectangle, right? So watch. There's my right angle right there. So I'm just going to lay that right on top of the clay. It's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. All right, so now I know that if I just cut these 3 inches long, they're already 3 inches tall. I'll have squares that are all the same size. So there's 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. Some of these rulers are pretty beat up, especially the yellow ones with paint on them.
Mr. Mark Dennis, come to guidance. Mr. Mark Dennis, come to guidance, please.
So, do you guys understand why I just did what I did? Right? I see a lot of times people like wad up their clay, roll it out, cut out 1 square. Wad up their clay, roll it out, cut out 1 square. Wad up their clay, roll it out, cut out 1 square. And it just seems like a lot of work to me, so I think that's just the easy way to do it. Cut them all out together. Okay, so now look. Here are my 6 pieces.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the bottom, my 4 sides, and then my top. And so what do? Just stand them up, right? Put them out here. They're not going to fit.
Measurements are all. Oh, dude, didn't know how to count.
Put them up here like that. They don't fit like that either. It's not my measurements. They're all 3 by 3 by 3.
It's nature.
Yeah, it kind of is nature. These things have a thickness to them, and so I didn't account for that. So look, you know when 2 corners come together to make a 90, each of those pieces on like a picture frame, for example, each is cut to 45, right? So if I cut all my edges on all 6 pieces to 45, it'll all just stand right up.
I was gonna suggest maybe like on the wall corners, you can maybe make an angle, so that way when you put the pieces together, they'll come at both that angle and come straight.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make that bevel. So this is step 2 on that board there. Where it says bevel all 4 sides on all 6 pieces. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm right-handed, and when I write,
I'm not saying that difference.
so when I write, when I hold my pen, do you see how that pen is? It's about 45 degrees, right? Okay. So all these cuts are 90, so that's a 45. And now, naturally, it's easy for me to cut that 45 degrees. So watch what I'm going to do. I want to see the end of this needle point, and I'm just going to cut that edge. I'm going to cut this edge. I know you guys can't see this, so I'll turn it around in a second. I'm going to cut that edge. I'm going to cut that edge. I'm going to cut that edge. See what I'm doing with my thumb is I'm just going to hold the clay so it doesn't slide around. And then instead of trying to do like this or do like that or like that, I'm just going to turn the clay.
You gotta do to all those sides.
Didn't take that long. Watch. So this is what I'm doing. You guys can see this. Take that needle. And see how you can still see the needle as I'm cutting? I'm not taking any of the width of that slab away. I'm just taking off that corner. So, does anybody else need to see that? They weren't able to see it? Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and cut these pretty quickly. So if I turn this over, that piece is still 3 inches by 3 inches. All I've done is just cut that edge off of it, right? So